Hey, how you doing? I thought I'd tell this story. It took place back when I was about 12. A friend of mine, Buddy, he was about 11. His brother was 10. Buddy and Dale Driver. And this happened back in about late 1966, early 67. And I'm going to name this story Meeting Robbie and Jim. All right. So, what took place was back in Gardena, California. And it was like a Friday, and I had just gotten out of school. I got out of school, I was in the 6th grade. Got out of school at 3, but Buddy and Dale, they would get out at 2 until you got to the 6th grade. And then you had to stay an hour later getting ready for junior high. Just stand now. Anyway. So, So like I said, I get out of school and I'm at Vermont and 135th. And right as I cross Vermont, heading west on 135th, I noticed that there's a fire. There's a fire, and it's right behind Buddy and Dale's house. Well, I know if there's a fire occurring there, it was a fort we had built. And back in those days, and like I said, this is for adults only. As kids, we would steal cigarettes from our parents, and we built this fort so we could go there and smoke cigarettes. And it was about maybe 50 yards from the back of Buddy and Dale's house. So I go running, and I'm like, wow, man, what did they do? And I go running there, and I stop in my house real quick, and a lady by the name of Beatrice Patterson from Michigan was babysitting me then, and I told her, I said, I'm home, I'm going to go see where the fire is at Buddy and Dale's house. And I go running over there, and they got their hands linked in through the chain link fence. And I come up there and I'm going, what's going on? And I could tell right away they had this worried look on their face, you know. I'm like, wow, man, it's pretty obvious where this fire started. And the fire department's there putting it all out. It was kind of like a little practice run for them. They had the fire out within 5-10 minutes. And I could hear them say, it must be some damn kids around here playing with matches, you know, and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, Buddy and Dale looking at me, and I'm looking like, wow, man, you guys might be in a lot of trouble. But as it goes, the fire department just took off and just kind of left it as it is. And we were talking, and Mom didn't do anything, Dad didn't do anything, nobody got hurt, nobody got burned, no houses burned down, and off we went. And then later that evening, I'm like, wow, now where are we going to smoke our cigarettes? Because if we go anywhere else, we're going to get busted. You know, or we'll get caught. You know, we didn't use the word busted. So anyway, I'm like, and then Buddy and Dale goes, hey man, let's go over where the hippies' house are, because they're never home. I mean, you hardly ever see them. Maybe once or twice a week. And there's no cars there. they're not there. We can go back behind their place. And this is like a one bedroom cottage house. I call it a house because it had a front yard, a backyard, a side yard on both sides of the place. And the backyard had a little patio, washroom area, all that stuff was going on. I said, we'll go back there, man. We can smoke our cigarettes. Yeah, cool. We go back there, you know, and we light up our cigarettes, and we start taking a puff or two. And bam! The back door opens up, and this hippie guy looks out, and he goes, "What are you doing back here? You guys smoking cigarettes?" And we're like, yeah. And automatic, we're thinking we're busted. They're going to go tell our parents, you know, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And the guy says, I don't care if you guys smoke cigarettes back here. I just don't want you to burn this down like you just did that field over there. So I'm going to bring you out a big can and make sure if you smoke back here, you put your cigarettes and matches in the can. We were like, wow, we're relieved. This is cool. This is cool. I never had anybody, you know, an adult, somebody older than us talk to us like that and not care, you know, not go and tell on us or whatever. So as the story goes on, he goes, my name's Jim, and this is my friend Robbie. And we're like, oh, okay. And we're in a band. We're just starting to get our band, got our band going, and we're going to be famous. Real famous. And we were like, yeah. And then I think Dale, Buddy's brother, goes, well, can we see your equipment, your stuff? And Jim goes, yeah, come on in. And we go in, and I was closest to that door, so I go in first. And the first thing I notice is beer bottles everywhere, all over the kitchen counter, all over the table. Our little kitchen back there where we entered in through the back door. Beer bottles everywhere, and then you walk into the living room, and here's this drum set up, some like mics and stuff and things in there, and posters all over the wall. And of course back then the most famous bands to us as kids was the Monkees, the Beatles, Herman's Hermits. We've heard of the Animals and a few other things. We never was much into music being that young. I mean, we played outside. You know, TV was not a part of our life. Maybe 5% out of 100% we watched TV, and that was just cartoons. And they had the Beatles cartoon back then too. And so as we're talking, you know, Buddy and Dale want to tap on the drums and stuff, and I'm looking at these posters and examining them. It looks like they had like maybe Marty the Mouse, a few posters, kind of, you know, a little bit out there. And I think they had the Monkees poster and you know, stuff like that. And then you know, Jim's looking at me like he notices that I'm really intensely into these posters, and then I turn and I say, well, what's the name of your band? And he goes, our band is The Doors. And I said, The Doors? They said, yeah, The Doors. And Buddy and Dale kind of mentioned it, you know, and I was like, The Doors, you know, what the heck is that? I mean, bands name themselves after animals or monkeys or, you know, bugs, or just didn't click at all as being a kid. The Doors, why would you name your band The Doors? That's what's going through my head. And it's kind of like Jim recognized the confusion, you know, of us trying to relate to the name of the band. So he he says, well, yeah, the Doors. There's a reason why we named our band the Doors, because you don't know what's on the other side of the door. We're the Doors. We're opening the doors. Like, and he actually demonstrates to us, do you know what's in this door, which was the bedroom door that led from the living room into the bedroom? We're like, no, we don't know what's in there. And he goes, here, I'll open this door and take a look. He opens the doors, and there's guitars and other stuff, other equipment, bass. I mean, not bass, but amplifiers and other stuff there. And we're like, wow, yeah, okay, I can see that. But, you know, I know that kids of my age and stuff are not going to recognize that. But most likely, in his age group and stuff, are probably going to get that concept of that. Of course, as later on, you know, finally people got it. And I think a lot of people knew about it. It was kind of an artistic name. So that goes on, and then we finally leave, you know, and then later that evening they come in these old station wagons and old cars, and they pick up all their equipment. We saw Pamela, or Pam, and then, you know, we saw them off and on, not very much. And then I end up moving away, and they end up leaving. They were gone, you know, all of a sudden they're there, and next thing you know, they're gone. And so, as the story goes, I end up moving to Anaheim, Garden Grove, to be Pacific. And months later, summertime, out of school, my dad would give me money every day, a couple of dollars, and I could go bowl. I could bowl like 5 frames, and I forgot what it was, man. I could bowl 3-4 frames and rent the shoes for $1.35. That's what I remember. 4 frames, $1.35. 35 cents for the shoes. And so I go over and bowl, you know, but before I got to this bowling alley that lived in an apartment building I lived at, I had to walk along the main street, Garden Grove Boulevard, and there was a big, big field. And as I walked, I had a transistor radio back then. And so I used to carry that with me, you know, listen to music, you know, and then, so I'm walking across, and all of a sudden this radio announcer goes, here's a new song by a new group out called The Doors, and here's their latest song called Light My Fire. And they played that song, and I'm like, wow, I know those guys. And I was pretty amazed, pretty shocked to hear their song kind of just out of the blue. It's kind of cool. All right, well, I'm signing off. Later. I call this then when we were kids.